A boring, defensive-minded, bus-parking manager at Old Trafford? That's not what we've come to know over the years, so out you go, Jose Mourinho, because here are 5 potential managers to bring back the Manchester United of old. The first replacement on this list is one of 3 Frenchmen who could be in charge should Jose Mourinho get the chop at United. Despite a relatively short but insanely successful career, Zinedine Zidane now finds himself out of a job having quit Real Madrid at the back end of last season. In just 2.5 years, he won 9 trophies at the Bernabeu, including 3 back-to-back Champions Leagues. Much less of a Barcelona tiki-taka style, Zidane's Real Madrid had fullbacks who loved to get forward at every opportunity, incisive forward-thinking midfield passers in the middle, and a front line that was desperate to score whenever they could. That, along with arguably the best footballer in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously helped a lot. But can you imagine how the likes of Martial and Rashford would develop under Zidane? Not to mention the advice that he could give to Paul Pogba about being a world-class French midfielder. This looks like a good move if I've ever seen one, and he's also going to be available on a free, seeing as he's currently unemployed. Lastly, on the transfer front, Zidane didn't make many big signings or many changes at Real Madrid, meaning that United fans wouldn't have to put up with hearing their manager complaining at every lack of transfer signings. Plus, who knows, with Zidane back in management, he may be able to tempt Cristiano Ronaldo back to Old Trafford if things don't work out at Juventus, although that seems like even more of a long shot than Zidane getting the job in the first place. Second on this list is someone whose playing and club managerial career probably doesn't earn him a chance to manage one of the biggest clubs in the world. However, if you factor in what he did with England at this summer's World Cup, Gareth Southgate has to be one of the potential candidates. Okay, he isn't a proven winner and by no means has the trophy cabinet to back himself up. However, his stock with the English players couldn't be higher, and the rest of the world has seen what he'd done with England during the World Cup in their run to the semi-finals. So should a waistcoat-clad Southgate walk through the doors at Old Trafford, you can be sure there'll be a probably delighted dressing room. Apart from developing the young English talent like Shaw, Rashford and Lingard, Southgate also has a forward-thinking, adaptive style, something which Jose Mourinho is often criticised about. But even then, maybe Gareth Southgate's role isn't in the day-to-day business, but more as a man manager, much like Alex Ferguson was. Fergie was always very complimentary of his staff, including Mike Phelan and Carlos Queiroz, and called them some of the best coaches in the world. Fergie himself often wouldn't even be at training at all. The most common praise that Fergie received was that he was like a father figure to many of the players. So maybe that's what Southgate could do at United. He could have a high quality coaching team behind him and could focus more on developing the players as a whole rather than just as a footballer. However, don't be expecting any of the United lads to take on his fashion advice anytime soon. Next on the list is another Frenchman, but not the last, and trust me, you're gonna want to stick around to find out who the third one is. Since leaving PSG in 2016, Laurent Blanc's name has always been mentioned in the hat to take over at Manchester United, even if he hasn't come out and said he wanted the job himself. Having a familiar face at Old Trafford is definitely something that gets the fans on board, but it's not just that which gives Blanc the credentials to take over as manager. His managerial career has seen him take Bordeaux to a double before leading PSG to back-to-back trebles and another double, all whilst managing France in between. As a former defender, he's obviously got the knowledge to build a solid foundation at the back, but also has the style of management which is balanced and allows his attacking forwards to do the business up front. He managed to control Zlatan Ibrahimovic's worldwide ego in a season which saw him score 50 goals, so dealing with the big players on the big money won't be a problem, and also as with Zidane, the French connection could help develop players like Pogba and Martial. However, the one downside to appointing Blanc as manager is his Champions League record. He's never made it past the quarter-finals, and this in the end was the reason that he got sacked from PSG. Things may be different for United in the Champions League, however they should probably focus on getting back to the top of the English tree first before thinking about conquering Europe. But away from defensive-minded coaches and onto one of the most promising attack-minded coaches on the continent at the moment. After spending most of his career as an attacking midfielder, it's no wonder to see Valencia's Marcelino adopt his style of play into his team. So much so that he was linked with a vacant Napoli job earlier in the summer once Maurizio Sarri had departed. Prior to his role in Valencia, he took Villarreal back into La Liga, followed by 3 top 6 finishes, including a 4th place finish and a UEFA Cup semi-final back in 2016. And since moving to Valencia, he's also brought Champions League football back to the Mestalla, as well as amassing the most amount of wins in a league season since they won the title back in 2003. It's because of this attacking, energetic style that many players actually want to come and play under him, including former Valencia player and current United midfielder Juan Mata. Alongside this, in the transfer window, he's brought in Michy Batshuayi and Kevin Gameiro to add to an already attacking lineup, including Rodrigo, the perennial underachiever who he's managed to turn into a €100 million target for Real Madrid. So could this move prove fruitful for a Manchester United team often void of attacking intent? A short answer, yes it could. His demands on fit, aggressive, quick players are exactly filled by the likes of Sanchez, Martial, Lukaku, Pogba and Lingard, so we could be seeing a new attack-minded Manchester United in the future. And finally, we have our last potential replacement for Jose Mourinho at Manchester United. And boy, is it a headline act. 9 years after kicking a bottle and getting sent off into the United stand, could we really see Arsene Wenger in the home dugout at Old Trafford? Well, stranger things have happened, and Wenger actually interviewed for the United job back in 2001 after Ferguson announced his plans to retire. That of course didn't happen, and Wenger stayed at Arsenal. In recent years, Wenger and Arsenal have become more of a social media meme than any sort of constant success. This has rather overshadowed what Wenger brought to the Emirates in the 22 years that he was there, Highbury included of course. But now that Unai Emery is in charge, Arsenal fans can reflect on the titles, the cups, and most importantly, the Invincibles era that he brought to them. So if Wenger puts all that aside and heads to United, well, firstly, it will drive an absolute social media frenzy, as is everything with Wenger, but it'll also give us a chance to see Arsene Wenger outside of his comfort zone. There's no doubt he's a great coach, but some of the criticism levelled at the former Arsenal manager was that he was far too comfortable in his job at the Emirates and practically unsackable. This led to a lack of ambition and ultimately frustration amongst a lot of the fans and even some of the players. So if he moves to Old Trafford, he'll be straight out of the comfort zone and straight into the pressure that comes with being Manchester United manager, although he could probably deal with it. His Premier League success would command instant respect in the dressing room, and in Anthony Martial there's shades of Thierry Henry in there, something which Wenger knows all about bringing the best of. I mean, that's almost worth it by itself, bringing in the new Henry, but he'd also bring in years of experience to a team which actually lacks an experienced head since Michael Carrick and Wayne Rooney have departed in the past few years. I'm not saying it will happen by any stretch of the imagination, but can you imagine the scenes if we really do have Wenger in? So there you have it, 5 potential replacements for Jose Mourinho at Old Trafford should he get the sack. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what you think of Mourinho, where it's all gone wrong, and who could potentially replace him. Whilst you're there, don't forget to smash that like button, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.